So, in the last videos, we discussed about the density function and its meaning, its significance, and its applicability in a very limited number of systems, but very useful system, microcanonical ensemble. And there we concluded that in order to have the density function, so in the microcanonical ensemble, um, if you remember, the density function was totally independent of Q and B in an equilibrium system. But here, then we confirm that the density function, if it is depending on QP, which is a very special system, that comes to be the canonical ensemble. So here we start discussing on the canonical ensemble further. So you know what is a canonical ensemble. I have already described on the different kinds of ensembles, and canonical ensemble is one of them. Right? Here, the basic difference with the microcanonical ensemble is that the fixed energy concept is purely is totally done away in the canonical ensembles. So here in canonical ensembles, you are allowing the energy to change, but you keep the N, V, and the T constant, right? But you have energy changing. So that is how you define a canonical ensemble. But now let me ask you, how do you keep temperature constant? Right? For example, you are given a glass of water and you measure the temperature. So you are given a glass of water, ice water, say something like, imagine if it is at 10 degrees Celsius. Okay. So how will you keep it at 10 degrees Celsius? If I ask you to keep it at 10 degrees Celsius for 1 hour, not in the fridge, not in the refrigerator, but outside, how will you keep it? So what you will do is that you will take your glass of water and keep it in a bath, right? Keep it in a bath, which otherwise called as a reservoir. So this, and the heat and the temperature of this one should be at 10 degrees Celsius or below, right? If this glass is kept in a heat reservoir, this glass of water can still be maintained at 10 degrees Celsius. So the same concept applies in the canonical ensembles also. Here you are putting your ensembles within a heat reservoir. Right. But there is an important characteristic which my system should satisfy, right? Because this system is accepting the temperature from outside, right? And also this glass of water is always trying to move to the room temperature. Because it has got interaction with the outside atmosphere. So one of the characteristic this this cooling system should have is that it should have an infinite heat capacity. So practically, if you are, what you do is that you keep it in a uh, very big reservoir, right? Which is at 10 degrees Celsius, which is kept always at 10 degrees Celsius through some external current or some refrigeration mechanism. You keep it at 10 degrees Celsius all the time, so that this glass will possess only a small volume within this reservoir, so that still you can manage to keep it at 10 degrees Celsius. If it is kept in a very small reservoir, over the time this reservoir gets really difficult to maintain the temperature of the contents within the glass. But in a theoretical proportion, I can tell that it should have an infinite heat capacity, right? Infinite capacity to absorb as many heat as possible, right? That's way. Although this example is just for your understanding, yeah? So it is not okay. So therefore, in this way you can obviously keep the system as a canonical ensemble system. Right. So in order to discuss this the system here, what is our idea, or our aim is to find out something like the density function for the canonical ensemble. But it is just not same as the density function, but something similar to density function. Basically, you want to have an idea how the microstates, or see here you have a system with varying energy, right? Which means that the microstates within this canonical ensemble will vary in what? Energy. So if somebody asks you how the energy is distributed among different microstates, right? That's an important question. How the energy is of a canonical ensemble. Sorry. So how the energy is distributed in various microstates of a canonical ensemble. So this is our aim, or the objective, whatever it is. So that is what we are trying to do. So for the purpose, what we do is that we take a system. We take a canonical ensemble system. So this is the system, and it is having an energy E0. Please notice where I have put the 0 here. I have purposely put it in the superscript because I want to communicate that it is not. You have the EI here, right? You have the E1, E2, E3, E4, etc. And you can have something called like ground state, which we normally represent by E0, right? Which is the 0th level energy. So 0, we normally put it in the subscript. And here I have purposely put it in the superscript, because this is the energy of the whole system. So since this is a canonical ensemble, I can always write this as got A0 of NVT, and of course it has got an energy E0, and this energy is kept constant, right? Because you don't allow, if you remember the diagrams, you don't allow the system to exchange the energy with outside the ensemble. It is all between the elements of the ensemble that the energy is allowed to exchange. So in that system, I choose a particular area. Okay. So basically I call it as an element, but somewhere it may be called as a system. And let A of NVT and ER be its energy. So ER is what? ER is E1, E2, E3, E4, right? I mean, ER can take the values E1, E2, E3, whatever it is. And the rest of the system I consider it as the reservoir. Reservoir, let me represent it by A dash of NVT ER dash. So can you assume a connection between ER dash, ER and E0? There can be two things which I can tell about. On definition of the ER, I can tell that ER should lie between 0 to E0. And also, you can always write that ER dash is lying between 0 to E0. Right. In any case, one condition will be based on the assumptions which we made. We can always write that ER plus ER dash is equal to what? 0, 1, E0, what? E0, right? So ER plus ER dash is equal to E0. Because whatever is being lost, it is being lost to the reservoir, and whatever is taken, it is taken from the reservoir. So that is it. ER plus ER dash is equal to E0. So that is the constant. That is the concept. And E0 is what? E0 is actually a constant. Why? Because that is the concept of canonical ensemble. Just now I told you. Within a canonical ensemble, between the elements the energy can vary, but it does not allow the whole ensemble to take or exchange energy with the external atmosphere. Therefore, E0 is a constant. Okay. So that is the system which we are defining. We will continue in the next video.